My name is Ronda, and I used to be a teacher. I used to teach high school, so, this is my thing, huh? Yeah, so last time I was here, that's funny. How many of you feel like you're in a trance half the time these days? Like kind of some are not quite here? Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. So last time I was here, I hadn't slept the night before, and I really wasn't sure what this was all about here, and I didn't really write anything up too much, and I just stood here. I don't even remember it. So, oh, God.
We recorded it if you want.
Yeah, oh, God. That's fine. Shit. Please don't, right? So, yeah, I don't even remember. I think my eyes were closed the whole time. Hopefully your eyes will be closed this time. I've got 19 minutes. It's fantastic. All right, let's do this. So we all have themes that we came here to express, explore, and to teach to others. There are energetic themes running through you. I'd like you to consider your own energetic theme as I introduce one of the energetic themes that's running through me with every step I take, with every move I make. Right? All right, play with me a little bit here. I'm going to read this to you, and, just stay with me. Just stay with me. This is for you. This is for you, and I wrote this in my car a couple nights ago. For you. So listen. There exists one focus, one energy that, without it, nothing is going to really thrive or evolve. It's a sensation that is not easily found. An elusive and ever-challenging goal within our ever-changing reality and beingness. Without this, we don't really align or ascend. Okay. Without this, we cannot soar or even find proper peace. It is a thing that once found will be required to be found over and again, as our only constant is change. For a very long time upon our planet, we have been working primarily within our lower three chakras. Our root, sacral, and solar spaces have held us grounded into materialism, into physical sensation, into pleasure and appetite, into lower desires and basic needs in order to survive. And it's been fun. Right? It's been fun. What is wildly interesting at this stage of our human evolution is that we're all being invited to move into the more of who we really are, into the reason of what we actually came here for, to integrate and to rise. How is this done? How? We're here. Then what? Okay. All right, so you ever meet people who haven't had their heart open yet? It's like really scary and sad, right? Yeah, okay, we did this, and now, right? Okay, so we're opening this. Yeah, let's do that, right? Our heart, thanks, Paul. As we open our heart center, we begin to allow the full flow of energies to come online, to remind us of our powers and our potentials. It also finally invites us into our full knowing of who we really are, as long as we can find our what. What is it that without it we cannot align our energy bodies and ascend? What is the key ingredient that so often fails us? What is this equalizing construct that is always attempting to find us in order for us to take our experience to the next level? And the answer is balance. Balance. Without balance, we will not do it. We will not get there. Balance. Please stand up. And if you were with me last time, you'll kind of remember this a little bit. So do it again. Mastery means repetition. Repetition of everything, right? Raise your hand if you're a yogi, if you do the yoga, right? Oh my God, the repetition. Whoop, whoop, right? 30 years of downward dog. What? Do I have that mastered yet? Do we ever master it? Now, lean forward on your feet. Go ahead, don't fall over, but just lean forward on your feet. And feel the pull to get ahead of yourself, to be in the future moment before you're ready to be there. How often are we in this space of pushing into something before we actually need to be? How often are we thinking about what we're going to say instead of listening while someone else is talking? How often do we find ourselves impatient while driving or standing in line? Where is our energy going if we're pushing too hard, too fast, too forward? What are we missing within the moment, and why are we causing ourselves stress and anxiety by behaving as if we cannot be here right now, allowing that to be enough? Now lean backwards. Lean backwards on your feet. Take yourself back and explore the sensation of resistance. When we are paralyzed or procrastinating, when we're in denial or suffering, we can feel like we don't want to participate in the now and can become depressed, and our frequency slows way down. Just as we can get ahead of ourselves in an anxious manner or lag behind ourselves in depression, we can also spend a great deal of time sidestepping our now moments through distractions, addictions, and general fragmentation. Spend a few moments moving your body too far forward, too far back, and to the sides as we all consider our lives up to this point. Just take a minute. Kind of like go through your life so far. Where were you too far back? Where were you too far forward? Where were you sidestepping and distracting yourself? What about those addictions? What is that all about? What's going on there, right? Just consider that for a second. Now find your feet parallel and under the width of your hips. Stand truly firm and balanced for 3 deep breaths and clear any imbalances that are swimming around within your thinking. How does it feel to stand balanced? With our feet firmly grounded and our hearts open, we can begin to experience the swirl of energies within all chakras, the 3 below the heart, and the throat, the 3rd eye, and crown above. Of course, there's more. Just talking about the main 7. It is our balance within our energy bodies that will eventually allow us to ascend and nothing more. For our balance brings us the presence that moves us into 0 point, into the Christ consciousness stream, into the field of all potential, into the true you. Please sit down and close your eyes. As we move into this vital concept of balance, let's take inventory of certain areas of life. All right, you ready to take inventory? You did that last time with me if you were here, briefly. We're going to go a little more deeply into it now. So this is for you. This is not about me. This is about you. So close your eyes. We'll start with the physical. Within your physical body, ask yourself if you are feeling physically well, or if there are issues that need tending to. Do you have pain that is not being addressed? How do you feel about your weight and your appearance? Have you made peace and created balance here? Are you honoring your physical body by feeding it highly nutritious food and liquids? By moving it in enjoyable and productive ways on a regular basis? Are you ignoring anything you know you need to do for yourself physically? How is your strength, your flexibility, your endurance, your actual physical balance? Could you be honoring your physical body temple more? Could you engage in more self-care that brings you into deeper self-love? Are you avoiding yourself physically in any way, and if so, why? Take a minute to make note of what you'd like to tend to within the physical body in order to achieve greater balance here. Take a deep breath and clear yourself as you consider now your mental body. So often, so many of us are living within the mental realm of thinking, planning, worrying. Thoughts create things, and so it is vital to take inventory of the mental realm, to move into the observer role around our own thinking and take stock of what we are creating here. Take this moment and ask yourself if your thoughts are calm or chaotic. Calm, even breath will offer us a calm, even mind. So take a deep breath and observe yourself for a moment here. How often are we thinking thoughts that are repetitive or of no value to us? How much of our thinking is self-criticism or general judgment of others? What are we creating with this kind of thinking? Are we empowered thinkers, or are we just entertaining random thought forms that do not serve us? What about those of us who don't want to think, directing us to escape into other people, into the screen, into weed or other drugs that take our sober thoughts away? If we are unbalanced within our mental body, what are we doing to correct this? Are we engaging in yoga and breath work on a regular basis? Are we finding moments in the day to drop into meditation to clear the screen in our minds from so much thinking? Are we journaling or speaking with supportive people in order to release our mental constructs in an organized fashion? Take a minute to make note of what you'd like to tend to within the mental body in order to achieve greater balance here. Take another deep breath and recommit to your internal inventory as we consider now our emotional body. Our emotional body is what makes us human and is the space where we can grow our compassion for ourselves and others, which is what holds our entire existence together. Our emotions are what show us where we are on the vibratory scale and are deeply intertwined with our general frequency. Our emotions tell us how we're feeling and if we're in a space of receptivity or not. It's a big deal to create emotional balance because it means honoring all emotion within a world that has programmed us to tuck away our sadness and fears in order to smile and be helpful. This has caused tremendous damage to our psychological state. So let's take another deep breath. Consider what is now to heal, what it is now to heal our emotional bodies. A very important first step is to understand that any and all emotion is neither positive or negative. It just is. If we're feeling any which way, it's just how it is in the moment and really shouldn't be judged at all. So in finding and creating emotional balance, it's mainly about simply accepting yourself emotionally. As the collective darkness purges, we can feel it and take it on if we are sensitives, which many of us are. Why would you berate yourself in any way for the collective pain that we are transmuting through our energy bodies? Have you recently considered that all your emotion may not even be personal? So why judge it? When we release from attempting to control or judge our emotional bodies, we can finally feel free to be whatever we need to be emotionally. So ask yourself, are you being emotionally authentic? Are you allowing yourself to feel whatever comes up? Can you sit with your feelings and emotions as they move through you without wanting to necessarily do anything with them? Your emotions don't need to be medicated or cured. They need to be felt. Consider the ways in which you will more deeply honor your emotional state moving forward in order to achieve balance here. Please open your eyes and take a few breaths, deep breaths, as we consider a couple more areas of focus when it comes to whether or not we are balanced. Besides our physical, mental, and emotional bodies, we also carry our etheric, astral, causal, and spiritual bodies within our beingness. For our purposes tonight, I will focus on our spiritual body, which can be one of the more elusive bodies to look at. Take a deep breath while placing your hands over your heart and belly. Really dive into your spirit for a moment and ask yourself where you are here. Our spirit is the energy that lies within the physical. It's what creates our world. The energy of our spirit is what forms our perception that offers us our reality. It's deeply important and often overlooked. It can, however, also become imbalanced, creating distortion and confusion. Just like with the physical or mental body that can become egoic, so too can the spiritual. There are many among us these days who, within their excitement and growing powers and information, have developed what we call a spiritual ego, which I initially thought could only be an oxymoron until I came upon it time and again. How can we keep our spiritual body in balance? The answer will be different for everyone, as it is for your other bodies. The importance here is to strike the balance between empowerment and surrender. It actually comes down to the serenity prayer, to accept what we cannot change or surrender, and to understand when we can change something that will further empower us. So many people are in active resistance to what they cannot change while living in fear or futility of what they can change. And we've been programmed this way. So it's going to take everything we have to strike a sweet spiritual balance here. As source consciousness, we rock pretty hard and are finally remembering this. As humans existing within a hijacked 3D reality, we have to surrender. We've had to surrender to so much. Consider your level and quality of discernment here. Your discernment is your most important spiritual tool that will help you make the choices so you can rise to your highest potential within your spirituality. Make a note to yourself to perhaps be more discerning going forward, to properly empower yourself when that is called for, and to surrender to what cannot be controlled. The last area of focus I would like to briefly direct you to is your spaces you are responsible for. Close your eyes one last time and see your bedroom, your home, your office, your car, or any other physical space you are personally responsible for. Are they clean, organized, supplied, and current? Are they balanced spaces that offer you balanced energy when you move into them? Understanding that without balance, we cannot truly evolve. Would you do anything with your spaces so that they could more easily support you along your journey? A balanced body is not a perfect body. A balanced space is not a perfectly clean space. Balance is about respecting whatever is moving through you at the moment. It's about honoring the duality we find ourselves within, and it's about knowing what is needed to refine and refine our beautiful homeostasis. As we utilize and practice our spiritual discernment, we naturally come into greater balance within ourselves, so that respecting ourselves means balancing ourselves. The game of balance is an every moment focus, and it takes practice. My focus and my prayer is for all of us to become so self-realized that moving out of balance in any way would send us into a momentary alert until we found it again. I nod deeply to Paul and Lauren for creating this space for us to find ourselves tonight at a deeper level so we can consider all of what is being shared. Thank you. 2 minutes left. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share that.
You guys have any questions about balance in any way? I personally do stand for balance. I do not talk about what I am not focused on, what I'm not mastering myself. And I am finding great success with balancing myself in all ways, in every moment. So it's a thing, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Do you guys have any questions about balance or like at all?
Practices or exercises for balance?
So, I mean, one of the best things that we can do is yoga. I would never miss a day of it because it is my balance. It is that which takes me through myself in and then back out again, right? So the breath allows us that space, that clarity. So that's why I was asking you guys to breathe, right? Because it really takes us inside of ourselves. So I would really just challenge any of you guys, wherever you're feeling like, oh yeah, that was tough, yeah, I thought about that, you know, like whatever that was that came into your mind, I really, really invite you guys to go towards that and to explore whatever that is that's not in balance, because it will allow you to soar so much higher once you get that in balance, whatever that is. There's so much of us to balance, so much, and we're becoming more and more, right? So we have more and more to balance as we become more multidimensional, more of who we really are. But balance is what is going to set us free. And if there's too many people around you or too much shit around you or whatever, too many responsibilities around you where you're just, it's too much, then say no. Use that discernment we talked about in the spirituality section, right? And say, no, thank you. Actually, no, that's going to throw me out of balance. I cannot do that. I cannot be that for you anymore. I'm sorry. My own balance is more important. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, who is? Anymore, especially these days, right? Yeah. 28 seconds. Awesome. Thanks.